Yo, what is up, everybody? It is me, Mateo83, back again for the Dynasty Fantasy Football Recap Week 4 edition. Man, it's week 4, a whole month of the season's already gone on by, and it is flying by. What a week it was. More injuries. It did not look pretty for a lot of teams this week. Let's get right into it, right? It's Tuesday. It's kind of late. Dynasty Fantasy Football Recap. Roll those highlights. And make sure I get my cameras straightened up here. I hope you guys like the intro. I hope you guys, I'm working on some things, playing around, and having a little bit more fun with the show. So I hope you guys are enjoying what I'm doing so far. Going up with the first game of the week, of course, with me, Mateo83, taking on Luis, a.k.a. Hi Guy. I stay undefeated miraculously. It was a low-scoring affair. I was not too happy with this game at all. You see, I win there 88-81, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. Let's look at our highlights real quick, or our stats. The only reason why I won is because Luis didn't change out his Pittsburgh and his Tennessee players, which were 3 of them. He had Johnson, Henry, and Pitts on the Pittsburgh defense starting. And of course, that game got postponed. That was announced earlier in the week. Luis didn't bother to move those players around, so he was just annoyed. And thankfully for me, I got the win still. I almost called it too. I almost said that he was going to get the win because it was just probably going to happen. I don't think I've ever been 4-0 ever in the Dynasty Fantasy Football League. So this is definitely a first for me. Lowest scoring output for me throughout the whole entire season so far. You see, I still get 23 points from Murray there. Ridley with a big fat 0. Just Atlanta could not. It's just been the story of the season for Atlanta fans. It's just been a tough season for us as Atlanta Falcon fans. And man, I don't know how Quinn still has a job right now as I do this recap. You see Anderson there with 17 points, and my other wide receiver. In comparison with Luis, you got a 12 and a 0 as well. So we're almost identical in that aspect. Had Eckler go down, another running back for me go down with an injury. Did not look good. He'll probably be back in a couple weeks. I think the report was a hyperextension of the knee. I forget which one, but you guys can click on these here and see what happened. Multiple. Austin Eckler could be sidelined for a month or more after suffering multiple lower body injuries against the Buccaneers. Oof. Just already hurting a depleted Chargers backfield. Hey, I got McCaffrey's backup here. Mark Davis still cranking out some runs for me. 22 points for Davis in comparison to 18 from Singletary. Again, you see those two back-to-back zeros there for Luis. Just did not do him any favors. Tight ends just not as good. I sat Kelsey because I wasn't sure what was going to happen going on with that game, so I was playing it safe. Just only gets me 2 points. I should not have started him. I got 9 points from Gaskin. 5 points from Lusk, and 6 points from the Buffalo defense. And you see there, Pittsburgh didn't play, of course. 2 points for the kicker for Luis, and 17 points for his flex position. Where did I leave players, man? You see Kelsey there, he did play. He only got 10 points, and I left Chark on the bench. He would have netted me 29. I started Murray instead of Rodgers, and maybe 6-point difference there, 29 points, and 8 points for John Brown. Looks like some of my bench players are finally coming back. I am dropping Sony Michel, so avoid him at all costs because he is on the IR, as you see right there. Looks like Luis has an empty spot there. He's not utilizing his injured reserve at the moment. He has Drew Brees on the bench, but he also has Deshaun Watson, so it's going to be like a toss-up throughout the entire season for him if both quarterbacks stay healthy. And you did have the Los Angeles Rams defense as your backup, which I don't get why you didn't start them if you had a defense already in your backup, but that's totally up to you why you did that. Nearly replicating last week's score, I believe. Freddie, 2 wins in a row, 164-119, taking out Bravo, who drops to 1-3. I'm gonna do a real quick thing here. I'm gonna go to week 3. Freddie had 159 points last week, so this week he has 164. Good average for Freddie. He's bouncing back after a rocky start. After losing 2 straight games to start the season, he's winning 2 in a row. Let's take a look at his players here. Goff, not that great, 11 points. He does not have another. He had Roethlisberger, who he probably would have started. I'm surprised he didn't pick anybody up. Otherwise, I mean, he would have probably picked up a lot more points. He had Lockett there, only got him 6 points, nearly 6 points, and then his Arizona defense only got him 1. But from there on, look at these point totals. Beckham with 30, OBJ with 38 points, 40 points from George Kittle, absolutely insane. 20 points again from Kamara, and Dylan with 26. Not a bad showing for Bravo. Just he can't pick him. He can't like get the right timing. His timing is a little bit off. He starts players that have done well the week before, and then they don't do as well the week he does start them. Is just, I think maybe as the season goes on and the players stay healthy, hopefully, then maybe they'll be a little bit more consistent. There you got Stafford there with 23 points, 23 points also from Robinson, 20 points from Elliott, and Jacobs with 10, and Robinson with 14 as well. Baltimore defense got you 6 points, so not too bad. You left Wentz on the bench, that would have been 22. Oh, yeah. You did all right. I think oh my God. So you left Mixon on the bench, and I don't think I noticed that. 42 points left on the bench and 22 left. 64 points there that you could have probably switched out Jacobs here, and taken out Robinson in your flex. You would have swapped out Jacobs and changed him around. You could have won this game. Wow. It's insane that you had the 42-point Mixon. That's probably the highest point total this week, and he was on your bench. I don't think you're going to be leaving him on the bench anytime soon. Going on to Game 3, Beckham Steamers taking on the Draft Day losers, and guess what? Wow, this is a first for Johnny, I believe. He is 0-4 to start the season. Drops the game 129 to 108. You see Jeremy picking up the win, bouncing back from last week's loss. 12 points for Matt Ryan. Those are pretty much garbage points too that he ended up picking up. 33 points for Amani Cooper, 28 for Cook right there, and you see 19 from Gurley and 19 from Kareem Hunt. Not too shabby in that area. You did, let's see, Garoppolo on your bench. He did not, questionable. Why haven't you dropped Garoppolo? Why do you still have him on your bench, Jeremy? That does not make any sense. You look at Johnny's team, he's pretty active. He has Le'Veon Bell on the injury reserve, probably dropping him pretty soon. Emmanuel Sanders left on the bench with 15, and Devontae Parker left on the bench with 21. Not too sure why you would leave Devontae Parker on the bench, but you did start Fuller and Galladay, so 22 and 16 right there. In your flex position, you have Montgomery at 10 points. So you could have swapped them. You could have put Devontae Parker in that position, and your running backs did you no justice this week, Johnny. Kenyon Drake with 3 points and 8 points from Taylor. Just didn't help you out. Jeremy picks up the win. Going on to Game 4, and this was probably the closest one of the season so far, I believe. 127 to 126. Actually, less than a full point decided this game. Really rough. That's 10 yards. That's one reception. If Alex would have had one more reception, this game would have been in his favor, but it wasn't. Really, oh my God, that's rough. You look at the point totals here, and they're almost nearly identical. 3 points on tight ends, 2 points defense for Chicago on Alex, 6 points for Joe's Tampa Bay defense, 23 points at the quarterback for Alex, 26 for Joe. You look at the wide receivers there, they're flippy-flop right there, man, that's pretty wild. Melvin Gordon with 25, 22 for Aaron Jones is just killing it this season. Really consistent. Good job for Aaron Jones owners. Austin Hooper, man, I don't know how Atlanta let him get away, but 14 points for him and 14 points for Metcalf. So congratulations, Joe, moving to 4-0 and overtaking the standings because he is now in first place. And moving on to our final game of the week, we got Chris taking on our Rookie of the Year, Brian, out in Utah. Close game here, but guess who else is 4-0? There's 3 teams that are 4-0. I don't know if that's a first or not for the Dynasty Fantasy Football League. Could be. Prescott did net him 38 points for Brian, but he dropped off there with Jones only getting him 1.9 points. 15 points for Landry there, but you also see Boyd had 16, Kupp had 17. Just a good week for Chris, and not the highest scoring 126, but he does get the win, moves to 4-0. Enough scores and highlights. Right, let's hand out some week 4 awards. Lamer of the week or Green Elite of the week. Man, if it wasn't gonna be Luis, it was gonna be me, because Luis again gets 81 points. I come close. The 2 lowest scoring teams actually played each other this week. Not too excited about that. I hope to rebound Next week, 88 points is not cutting it for me. That's like an honorary green and lead of the week for me. But I do get the wins, so I can't be too upset. I'm still in second place by, looks like 13 points. So player of the week, 2 weeks in a row, goes to Freddie for putting up 164 points. Good showing output there. He also gets the biggest blow of the week with a 44-point win over Bravo. Let's take a quick look at next week's matchups because they're coming up, man. I mean, recap goes up tonight on late Tuesday. If you guys watch this on Wednesday, that means you have a day to make your picks before the Thursday games kick off. I'll be taking on Alex's team, Bebe. Alex looking for his first win. Could he give me my first loss? Projections, a little all over the place there. I got a 142-point projection right there. I don't know if that actually will come close to that. Alex has 111. You see Blackbeard's Delight up there in the projection as well as 146 to Luis's 131. Luis looking for his first win this week against Freddie. Johnny looking for his first win against Bravo. And then you got Chris taking on Chris taking on Joe. I think this is the first battle of any undefeated teams. So this is gonna be a tough one. Who's gonna take an L on this one? Could be very possible one team left undefeated after this week. Is that going to be the case? We'll see. And Brian taking on Jeremy. Hey, check that out. The Battle of the Twitch Streamers. Shout out to Brian all the way in Utah for helping GoFo podcast get started on Twitch on GoFo Gaming. Twitch.tv/GoFo Gaming. Check us out. Subscribe to the Twitch channel. Subscribe to the GoFo podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and wherever else you find and listen to your favorite podcast in the whole wide world. If you guys want to take a look at Pick'ems real quick, we can take a look at Pick'ems. I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing in second place. Come on down. You got ain't nothing but a G Pick'em dang. Let me make sure I got this nice and framed for you guys. Ain't nothing but a Pick'em dang there. All by himself with 45 points. I dropped down to fourth. 42 points for That's Your Boy. 41 points for Draft Day Losers, aka Johnny. Make those picks, which is me. 41 points, picking it easy. At 36 and. The best picks in this league, 32 points, goes to my lovely wife Priscilla, who decided she wanted to play Pick'ems this year after she realized she wasn't playing Pick'ems last year, and she was like, "Why didn't you set me up?" Another fun week of fantasy football, guys. It's coming right up with week 5. I hope this show brings a smile to your face. I'm going to be a little bit more lighthearted this week, so I will not go after anybody or antagonize anybody because I don't want to make anybody upset. So hope you guys have a good week. Set those teams, pick those picks, and I'll see you guys right here next week on the recap. Later.